This is one of these Alvis salad bowl, no, sorry, salad din armoured cars. Built in 1959. A bit like a tank in a way, but much more manoeuvrable, of course. And the driving position is rather interesting. You can just about see out the little hatch there, and very handy to close that up quick if you see something flying towards you that you don't like.
The next one in your radar, number 509, is not a fire engine. You can use a garden hose to put a fire out, but that's not what it's for. You can use one of these to put a fire out, but it's not what it's for. Originally they were water pumps that were issued during the Cold War for pumping water over long distances. They have a whole chain of these things down across the countryside, pumping one to the other if water was needed, if the event of the Cold War had ever gone hot.
Yeah, this was in Harold Wilson days, wasn't it, when they produced these things in the event of nuclear war coming in. That's right, yeah. We've got another one here, John. 1956 again, Bill. Webster's engine.
They never built a fast engine, but of course we can use it as well. Next one coming in, number 470 in the programme. Nicely silent on technical services. I don't know if you got this one. This may not be the prettiest vehicle on the show, but it's one of the hardest working. It started life as a telephone engineer's van. Do you remember them with the little ladder on the top?
That's it, indeed.
Post office telephones on the door. It was then rescued by the President over 1989, completely rebuilt, spent the next 20 years in TV service and aerial installation vehicles for high-tech services, clocking out an average of 10,000 miles a year, apart from a big spell on the road of 1994 after a major accident. And a big rebuild.
Oh, well done on that, John. That was pretty good. Now then, we have got the details right on this little vehicle here, the Blackboard Bomb Disposal Unit. Despite its looks, it's built in 1992. It's a lot younger than its first impressions. Now, something a little bit larger.
Yeah, not the sort of thing you'd argue with, is it?
Not indeed. A Mack.
Yeah.
NM6 Wrecker.
Ah, you've got it, yes. Ex-US Army.
Yeah. Owned by Charles Pateman, and it's a Leyland. I built a Leyland engine in this, and was used as a snowplough in Scotland in an earlier life. 6-cylinder, 12 litre, and the guy's owned it for about 30 years. Not terribly good on fuel. You'll get about 8 miles to the gallon. Better than some of these big vehicles. Not the thing you want to go shopping in.
Indeed not. Next one, sort of thing you see on the road all the time. 451 in your programme.
Yeah, Fordson E83W pickup. Very common sight on the roads in the 1950s. This one dates from 1947, owned by the bigger staff.
Next one comes from the days when the BBC had those sort of quiet efficiency colours on their vehicles. This is it was a generator van originally. It's got a camera on the top. Now, I'm not quite sure what camera that is supposed to be. It's not a Mark III, that's for sure.
Is it digital, John?
Sorry?
Is it a digital camera up there?
I very much doubt it somehow. No, those things had actual chips.
Yeah.
The colour days up to 4. Yeah. They were great fun lining up. This one worked on Sir Winston Churchill's funeral in 1965 and on the World Cup in 1956. Now, I don't know if you remember that Churchill funeral. They got to the Pool of London and they put his coffin on the barge that was going to take him up the river, and all the cranes turned around and all lowered in salute. It was a wonderful moment.
Excellent. Now we have a familiar vehicle here, number 418. This is Colin Bailey's wonderful little Austin 301 flatbed. Dates from 1960 and shows you the typical coal lorry of the times, and with the various bags of coal on the back, and of course all important scales. Delightful little thing.
At the end of World War II, the Rover Car Company had been making aircraft wings and one thing and another, and the brothers also around the company also had a farm. They were bouncing around the farm in the World War II chick. What are we going to do when this thing runs out? Went back that night to the farm, drew up, basically became the Land Rover. Very short of steel in those days, so there's very simple steel chassis underneath. The rest of it was made out of thermobrite, which was the material they'd be making aircraft wings out of. The rest, as they say, is history.
Indeed, and look at the history of the Land Rover, the most recognisable vehicle in the world, without any doubt at all. And the parade we've got of them here just shows you the varieties that we have. really can do anything to go anywhere. They're a wonderful machine.
75% of all Land Rovers that have ever been made are still used there. Hotchkiss, Ford, Willis, chap called Carl Pax designed this for the American Army. The government, they said, can you design us a vehicle? They gave us 6 weeks to do it. He came up with this. He worked for somebody car company at the time. Somebody car company wasn't big enough to make it, so they gave the actual construction job to Ford and Willis, and then eventually the French company Hotchkiss picked it up after the Second World War.
Behind that we've got a Bedford A-Type Arctic. This is Mr. Chisholm's vehicle. He's got a rather nice body as well to go with that, which is parked up in the pound. Built in 1956.
The Gardner engine sound coming along behind us here, number 484 in your programme. This is a Unipower ballast tractor, I suppose, or you can get for heavy haulage or timber work or whatever, depending on what you put on the back of it. This one's obviously set up for timber work. It's got the spuds on the back to dig into the ground so you can use the winch.
Yeah, dates from 1956, this particular one, owned by Mr. Latchford. As you say, ground anchor, spud on the back. Lovely.
You've got a breakdown problem. Well, this is the sort of thing you need, number 408 in your programme. Probably ex-Army Matador, used originally, of course, for hauling guns and things around. Even the German Army used to use it if they ever managed to capture one. They used it until it fairly wore out because they were pretty good as well.
Yeah, it dates from 1945, owned by Mr. Bartlett.
Number 427 in your programme. The circles on the front, all round, where the Perkins diesels. I was talking about tractors one day that had this logo on the front. The lady came up to me, she said, well, you got that all wrong, didn't you? I said, well, it's not unusual. I said, what do you mean I got it all wrong? She said, well, that bad, she said, there were 28 different sizes of that. I said, how do you know that? She said, because I used to make them.
Well, that's the horse's mouth speaking, isn't it? Anyway, it's a Bedford QL timber crane vehicle built in 1944. Built at Dunstable, of course, not far from here.
One of those wonderful names from the past in British transport, Foden. Here, a Foden, a diesel. Again done up as a short wheelbase ballast tractor, or for, again, timber haulage, which is one is set up for, got the large winch on the back.
Yeah, it's got the Gardner diesel in it again. That one is the SDG5 timber tractor, owned by Mrs. Greensmith, owns that.
433 on your programme next. Nice little load on the back. It's very authentic.
Yeah, Collar QX, dates from 1953. Very nice sign writing on the side of that one, owned by Mr. Stewart.
461 in your programme. Another Land Rover. This has got the winch on the front and all the other bits and pieces.
Yeah, this is the long wheelbase one, I think.
Yes, it is. There was complaints about the Land Rover having only the petrol engine from various companies. Well, everything else we've got is diesel. Can you please make a diesel version and extend the chassis a couple of inches so you can squeeze the diesel in? And something here a little longer. You don't see many 8-wheel rigids nowadays. You see the old one or two with a shorter wheelbase than this, carrying sand and gravel about, but the old, very long wheelbase versions, you see very few of those around nowadays.
Yeah, it's a wonderful example of what we used to have. Occasionally you get a long wheelbase 8-wheel, but it's usually a flatbed these days, and as you say, John, they're very much shorter wheelbase now, used on tipper work, heavy tipper work for hauling soil and rubble about.
468 next in your programme. One of these...
Morris commercial.
Yeah, Morris.
Yeah, this is Trevor Coates's. Built in Birmingham, of course. It dates from 1953. It's a 4-litre, 6-cylinder petrol engine.
I don't know about you, it's always worrying when you look at these things and you think, I remember those when I was a kid.
I think the worrying thing is you remember them being built. Well, you do, John.
Yeah, well, it's even worse when you think, I learned the driving one of those. Oh, yeah.